Yes. We are here.
Okay, it's episode 3 of Ask LBD. I'm Lucas Duncan, of course, with my co-host Ronald Wayne.
What's up?
And on the YouTube, we'll put like a description so we can follow Ron. He does all my videos, all my pictures. So obviously he helps me out a lot, and I really appreciate it. So Ask LBD episode 3, we're going to go straight to questions. I'm going to take questions. This one's going to be off my Instagram. The ad I posted that says comment your question below. And off the Duncan Lucas and LBD workouts page. So, let's get right into it. Question number 1.
This comes from K_fitness.
4.K.
4.
Give a shout out.
4.K_fitness. What are the 5 most common mistakes you see beginners making other than hour-long cardio?
Wait. That's the first question? That's a hard question. Start with that one. That's a hard question to start with.
All right, cool. All right.
That's a thinker.
All right. Let me just pull this up closer. So
yeah.
What's going on here? Pat Darb, baby. Pat, these names.
Yeah. Okay. So the Instagram names, if you want to remain anonymous when you ask your questions, say you don't want to be, but some of these names are obviously hard to read, so we're going to butcher them.
Pat Darby, BA.
Okay. What's up, Pat Darby, BA?
Asks, what advice would you give to someone looking to become an online fitness coach?
Oh, business-related question. Man, how long do I have? So I'm trying to keep these podcasts to 30 minutes. And this shit's going to cut out at 30 minutes?
One will it'll keep going.
What time is it now? What time is it now? You said the time of 30 minutes?
Yeah, I'm going to set a time.
Okay, 30 minutes. Successful online fitness coach. Well, the first thing you need is credibility. So, you need to, first of all, build your own physique and look the part, I would say, is number one. You need to know what you're doing because, I'll tell a lot of these people who ask that question, you need to promote yourself, you need to market yourself. But any advice I give, like on promotion and pushing content out there, I'm assuming you know how to get somebody in shape. So that's number one. You need to know how to put together a diet and workout program. So, you need to have a decent physique. You don't got to be Mr. Olympia, but for me, I did 8 bodybuilding shows, and I was a bodybuilding competitor. I think I did like 5 shows before I even thought about making starting personal training or anything. So I already had a pretty legit physique. Now you don't have to be jacked and ginormous and shredded, but you do have to know what you're doing in that aspect. And then as far as actually the business aspect, you gotta push content out there, make as much content as possible, like what I'm doing right now. And then provide value to people. So obviously you want to sell stuff. Like if you look at my page, you'll see a lot of, transformations and ads and stuff, but you'll also see free workout tips, me and my stories giving free advice and stuff like that. So content, value. And then number 3 is invest in growth. So you got to, spend money on your business. Maybe not at first, but if you really want to, grow your business, just like any business, you have to spend money on it, invest in growth. So invest in your money. And just like this stuff is not free. Advertising is not free. You use paid advertising. So that's number 3. So content, value, invest in growth. That's my short answer. I mean, I could have a whole separate hour-long podcast on that, how to become a successful online fitness coach. But good question. That's my answer right there.
All right, let's keep it moving. Question number 2 comes from Taz1605. And their question is, as a client of yours and seeing your meal plans and how it's structured, do you base it off of macros or a different way?
Good question. So I don't do macros per se. And the reason I don't provide macros is, well, first of all, when I was, competing and in my own personal thing, I don't really believe in just following macros, because if you tell somebody just the macros to follow, so for example, if I said meal 1, do 30 gram protein, 30 gram carb, 10 fat, most people are just going to try to eat whatever to fill in those numbers and not eat specific meals. So I do believe in eating clean, specific meals, but what do I design your I can give you the macros upon if you request them, but I don't think it's necessary, because then you're going to be tempted just to hit those numbers instead of following the exact meals. So how do I design the meal plan? I design your meal plan based off, first of all, how much, first of all, your goal, whether it's to build a lot of muscle or lose body fat, and then your current body fat, your food preferences, so if you don't like eating salmon, I'm not going to put salmon on your meal plan. Food allergies, if you have any food allergies, Your metabolism I'll learn over several weeks. But the biggest thing is just to get started on an initial plan, and then after, a few weeks or after your check-ins, I make adjustments and I can better learn your body. Also, I've had a cold the past couple weeks, so if I sound a little stuffy like Kermit the Frog, forgive me. But what about you, Ron? Do you when you're following when you're trying to really serious about your fitness, do you do a specific meal plan or macros?
A specific meal plan only because I know I understand my macros now.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm eating the same 5 foods now.
Yeah, you're in the same 5 foods, and you're cutting right now too.
And I'm cutting.
Okay, so you kind of have. Do you weigh out your food though, or do you kind of just eye it and say this is chicken or rice?
Yeah, I just eye it. I don't weigh it. I actually never. I've never weighed it. I never weighed it.
Yeah, but you eat clean though. You're not eating like Pop-Tarts post-workout and trying to cut body fat. Yeah.
Definitely not eating.
No, I think you can't. What do I do? I think you can eat Pop-Tarts. If your goal. It depends on your goal, but I do believe in following a specific meal plan. Good question. All right, next. These are coming from my Instagram, by the way, Duncan Lucas and @OBD Workouts. I post that ad. I'm going to post that ad, or the graphic, not ad, but the graphic that says comment your question below. I'm going to post that the night before we do every podcast, and just comment your questions. I got a lot of good ones. I'm trying to keep these within 30 minutes. All right, let's go.
All right, 4.K_fitness. What are the 5
here
most
it is.
common mistakes you see beginners making other than the infamous hour-long cardio warm-ups?
Which I preach. I rant about the warm-ups. People warm up too much. Man, all right. How about I do one, you do one? Like we'll bounce it off. This is going to be tough. 5 off the top of my head.
Yeah,
I would say, anything related, like working out or fitness. Eating. Okay. I would say number 1, doing too much in the gym, too much volume. Like I remember a guy who had a good physique, but he came to me as a personal training client. And I was like, okay, so he was like, I'm trying to bring up my shoulders. And I was like, well, what are you doing for shoulders? And then he showed me, and he was like doing 10 exercises for shoulders alone. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like, you're spending 2.5 hours in the gym. I like to do pick 5 of my favorite exercises for that body part, crush them, do 3 or 4 sets each, go home and eat. So number 1, spending too much time in the gym. Wow, your turn. Number 2.
All right, my turn.
It can be working out or eating, rest, anything, or supple.
We'll keep it simple. At least I will. Your form is.
Oh, there we go.
That's huge. Whether you're squatting, if your knees are over your toes, and pretty much any exercise you're doing, you want to make sure you're executing, and the form is very important.
So the beginner mistake would be incorrect form.
Incorrect form.
Okay, so we got
hand placement, feet placement.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got number 1 was doing too much, spending too much time in the gym. Number 2, incorrect form. Number 3, I'm gonna say not eating enough food. I think a lot of beginners, it depends on your goals, but I think a lot of people, will be scared to fuel their body for the workout. So they'll under-eat in hopes of losing weight, but really you need to fuel your body with the right food so you have a good workout, and that's going to speed up your metabolism and make you lose more body fat. So, a lot of people on my plans will say, oh, this is a lot of food, bro. And it is, but it's a lot of clean food. So it's going to fuel your workouts, fuel your cardio, and it's going to speed up your metabolism. If you eat less food, you may lose weight, but you're not gonna have a physique. You're just gonna lose fat and muscle. So you really need to fuel your body with the correct food. So that's number 3. I told you it's gonna be tough. So we got 2.
See, as we're going, though, I'm thinking of something.
Yeah, there's gonna be there's so many things.
Yeah, there's so many things.
So 2 more.
Rest. Because your muscles aren't going to grow without rest.
For
so
sure.
That's definitely a mistake in the beginning. Depending on what your goal is, you're probably overtraining or working out that specific body part too many times. So rest is, that's like a.
So people aren't getting enough rest.
Aren't getting enough.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
that kind of coincides
sure.
with my number 1 too. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna do. I just thought. Oh, number 5. Number 5 is I think people rely on. They think protein powder is like steroids. They think, oh, I'm started working out. Do I need protein powder? All protein powder is. If you've been following me, I'm an advocate of 1UP ISO, 1UP whey. So I love protein powder and supplements, and I take usually 1 shake a day. But all protein powder is, it's just a supplement for protein. It's no different than chicken breast. It's just a convenient way to get your protein in, and it digests pretty quick. So it's convenient to have post workout. But a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to start working out and take protein powder. No, you're going to start working out and eat more protein food. Eat more food first. And then if you have a busy job and stuff, you can add protein, a powder, or if it's easier for you to have a protein shake at the gym than bring food or have a meal after the gym, But I think a protein powder is not like end all be all. It's just a supplement, just like anything else. So that was good. I love that question. So let's review. See if I can remember. Number one, people spending too much time in the gym. Like we work out together. Our weight training sessions are like 60 minutes. 60 minutes maximum. And it also gets confusing, though, when people say how much time do you spend in the gym. I'm doing 45 minutes cardio right now and 60 minutes weight. So that's like almost 2 hours a day in the gym, but I'm not weight training 2 hours. I'm weight training an hour. So number one mistake beginners make, spending too much time in the gym. Number two was
what did I say?
I forgot. Oh, form. Incorrect form. Number three was, he said sleep. So incorrect form, not getting enough sleep, the protein powder. And what did I say for five? Somebody help me out. What did I say? Man, I'm do it too. Forget it. Just rewatch it and go. Next question.
All right. Next question is from
that was a really good question, though. Thank you.
Scarlet Admiral. Do you ever have days you don't want to work out, you're depressed, bad day, or just not motivated?
Man, I'll tell you what. Well, I think Scarlet Admiral's a woman, so thank you for the question. I appreciate it. I shouldn't have said man, but I'll tell you what. I got a lot of – wait, what was it? I got a lot of –
So do you ever have days where you don't want to work out, or depressed,
okay, here we go.
day, or just not motivated?
So I got a lot of bad days and a lot of days where I'm depressed and not motivated, but the gym is what makes me happy. So, the gym is my outlet, and that's where I kind of like release all, the bullshit you're going through in everyday life or just the stress and stuff. Like when you're at the gym, that's the only thing that should matter, and that's how it's been like my whole life, whatever I was going through. Whatever, not that I've been through like crazy shit, but just like normal stuff. And the gym is a place where you don't worry about anything except having a good workout, and then having a good workout releases endorphins. It's gonna make you feel good. So, but I think that's my answer. That's the way I would answer that question. But I believe you're saying, how do you motivate yourself if you don't feel motivated to go to the gym? You just got to think about like why you started this in the first place. Like what are you doing this for? Like to be healthier, to play with your kids, to look better for yourself, to build self-confidence. I know for me personally, going to the gym, and like I said this in my live the other day too, going to the gym and like, having a list of exercises to do and a workout to do and accomplishing it and checking it off, that's what builds confidence. And so, that is going to build a physique, but that's what builds confidence, like having a to-do list and doing it. And then over time, like every day you check that to-do list off. That's what builds confidence. And in everyday life, you're gonna, talk to people easier. You're gonna be more successful in everything. So going to the gym, is gonna help you not just look better, but it's gonna help with me with my confidence is the biggest thing. So but I will say, you don't need to go to the gym 7 days a week. Like if you're really feeling down and out, maybe just go outside and just like take a walk and stuff. But for me, the gym is my outlet. What about you? What about on days you don't feel like working out? Do you still?
Those are usually the best workouts.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like if you can just get through it and just go, and once you get there, it's like all right.
Once you get there, yeah.
Yeah, and those are usually the best workouts
for sure. Because you could have like 1,000 things on your head on the way to on your mind on the way to the gym, but then once you get to the gym and get going, like trust me, doing every set and giving it your all, it makes a difference mentally too. So I would, that's a good point. I would say just get to the gym, and all is well.
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
All right. I don't know.
What is it?
This is right here.
Oh, J Coda 22.
J Coda 22. There you go.
So if you want in the future, if you want us to say your name with these questions on Instagram, say like before your name, say hi. My name is first name, last name. I don't know if you care or not. If I don't know if you guys care if we say your name or not. But if you actually want your name mentioned, say it in your question. If not, we may butcher these IG handles. But all right, J Coda 22. What's up?
J Coda 22. I'm 6'4". I weigh 234 pounds. I want to get to 210. What would be the best way about going about this? You're the best I've seen on IG. Thank you for everything you do.
Thank you very much. First of all, I appreciate that. And a really good question. I love the question, very specific and asking, what he should do to lose 24 pounds. So first of all, I would give yourself enough time Don't try to lose 24 pounds in 8 weeks, although you may be able to. And without, seeing pictures of you, I don't know how much body fat he's carrying, right? But just in general, you need to get on a structured. First of all, the biggest thing is eating. That's what's gonna lose the weight. Eating and cardio. So you need to get on a structured meal plan. I recommend at least 4 meals, sometimes 6 meals. But as far as like what exact, if I were you, without knowing anything about you, I would do protein, carb. I would do a high protein, medium carb, low fat diet. Without knowing anything about you, that's just what I would start you on. Now, if you're 234 and like 40% body fat, I'd probably have you do like a more of a ketogenic diet. But if you're 234 and just anywhere from like 20 to 25 or so, shoot for. Well, I'm not going to give macros because then people are going to follow them and eat whatever. But the biggest thing is get on a structured plan. So start eating 5 meals a day, protein every meal, healthy sources of carbohydrates. Rice, any type of rice, potato, Ezekiel bread, oatmeal. And then I would, if you're not doing any weight training, once again, so in the future with your questions, be more specific than that. Even say, hey, I'm weight training 5 days a week. I'm already kind of eating this. But in general, get on a structured meal plan, 5 meals a day, protein every meal, weight train at least 3 days minimum. A great split for beginners is push-pull legs. That's my favorite split for beginners, or for anybody really. But for beginners especially, because it's only 3 days in the gym. And then I'd start doing cardio. Just start with 30 minutes 5 days a week. And then follow the exact same plan for at least 2 weeks. Really, you should follow the exact same plan for like 4 weeks if you're just starting out. But for 2 straight weeks, see what happens with your weight. And, go for there. But remember, you got to be in a caloric deficit to lose the weight. But the biggest thing is, without overcomplicating things, you just got to get on a structured routine and follow it day in and day out. But in the future, guys, be more specific with your questions. Tell me like exactly what you're doing. That's what this podcast is for. I really want to answer everyone's questions in depth with this podcast, because on IG, DMs and on the IG Live, that's not the format it's meant for. But with this, I'm gonna try to answer, more in depth. So in the future, tell me exactly what you're doing, like food and workout wise, and I'll see. The more you tell me, the better answer I'll be able to give you.
Okay, there's another one. DCEGP 86.
Okay.
When you're following a specific diet plan and it requires 4 to 5 meals a day, how do you ensure you get them all in? That's my struggle in my busy day.
Okay, so the first thing you got to realize, though, is you're probably going from eating 2 to 3, junk food meals a day, and then you go into eating 4 to 5 clean meals a day. So it's going to be hard to get the clean food, all that clean food down at first. But the biggest thing is you wait. So if I don't know your exact routine, but you wake up. Sometimes, some days, or you may be doing cardio, maybe not, but you wake up, have a meal, then eat every 3 to 4 hours. So that's like the practicality of it, of how you fit in 5 meals. But he's probably asking like how I prepare the meals and stuff, or how you meal prep.
I'm thinking this person just has a really busy schedule.
So always keep it. Well, first of all, I take.
Because he says, that's my struggle in my busy day.
In your busy day, okay. Me and Ron are different because we're self-employed. We work for ourselves, so we kind of, you cook every day probably.
No, I don't.
Well, but the food you post then, because how do you do it then?
I cook like twice a week.
Twice a week.
I go out, but I make sure I eat really.
Okay, you eat out a lot, but you eat. I've seen what you eat. You eat all normal, all chicken, and all just healthy food. So there's 2 ways to do it. Really, a lot of people ask on the meal plan, do you recommend meal prepping? And I do for the best results. But you can still get pretty much any meal. So if I had a really big, I do got a busy schedule, but in this guy's case, I would meal prep a couple days, and when you're at the house, I would eat the food at the house. But you got to keep in mind, you can pretty much get any meal, like on my meal plans, at any restaurant or kind of, what do they call it, casual place. Especially, we're in Miami. If you're in a big city, like, dude, you got no excuse. There's so many places with just chicken, rice, salad, like healthy foods, Mediterranean places. So you can pretty much get any meal at any restaurant. But the thing is, the meal may not be listed like on the menu. You may have to say it a la carte. For example, like when I was living in Venice Beach, there was a breakfast cafe I always used to go to. And my first meal, I would do like 10 egg whites, oatmeal, toast, a side of fruit, Like that wasn't a meal on the menu. I just said, "Hey, bro, give me 10 egg whites." You know what I'm saying? You just had to tell them. Like, I mean, like pretty much everybody has a chicken breast, either baked potato, sweet potato, but the meal may not be that. You just have to say, "Hey, this is what I want." And then also the easy answer, the easy way out, is you could replace any meal with a protein shake or protein bar, 1-Up Whey or 1-Up protein bars. Good question, though. And another thing, too, is like, dude, if you really, it depends on, like, if you're really trying to make a change, no excuses. That's like, I should prefix any answer with that, no excuses. But, yeah, so protein shakes, meal prep, or remember, you can eat out. You can eat out, just you got to make the right choices. That's the problem when you eat out, you're not you go to healthy places. They don't even have bad food.
I'm looking for healthy places.
Yeah, like they don't even. I mean, they might have like a cheesecake dessert and stuff, but you're not going to. I've seen where you go. You go just like the healthy places here. Mm-hmm. And like I said, if you live in a bigger city, like this is Miami, obviously there's a ton of healthy food choices. But all right, next question.
Okay, K-Dubs, K_Dubs says, I think it would be cool for you to do some sort of behind-the-scenes videos on your business and online coaching and on your own meal prep or even just a typical day in the life type thing.
Perfect. I mean, that's not really a question. That's a recommendation. But, yeah, so I've started to do the YouTubes more. We're doing the YouTube more. You know, I'm trying to come out with, like, one video every, 10 to 14 days or so. But all we've done is the workout so far. Yeah, so I was going to do like a grocery store trip thingy where I show actually how to get, what I buy and then actually how to look at the nutritional label. So, because a big thing on my plans is I say don't add any calories to the meal. So you can have any 0-calorie like sauce or seasoning, but you have to look at the nutritional label. So if it says like 50 calories per tablespoon, don't get it. So we will do a grocery shopping video, and then I was gonna do a Q&A video. See, but the behind the scenes video of that stuff, like I don't really know how interesting that'd be. Like I just sit on my computer, But I mean, I do live in Miami, so just walking down the street is interesting. So I'll consider doing that. But yeah, the grocery store. Did he even say grocery store?
Yeah,
he did. Okay, the grocery store. We'll definitely do that one. I think he had a question too. Excuse me, K-Dubs. K-Dubs.
And also, do you recommend carb cycling?
Okay, good question. I get this question a lot. So here's the deal. So my plans, it's not. Well, first of all, do I recommend carb cycling? The answer to your question is yes and no. My plans, it's not a set meal plan for everybody. So a lot of these coaches, trainers, all due respect to everybody, everyone's doing their thing, they're killing it. But if they're promoting it as a carb cycling, if that's the only thing they're promoting as carb cycling or, do my keto shred, guys, that's just like marketing so they can have a product, they can have they can stand out like in the marketplace. Hey, they're the keto guy. Hey, they're the carb cycling guy. The answer is there is no set diet that works for everybody. So, I do like carb cycling for a lot of my clients, but I'm not going to have everybody on my program carb cycle because there's not one diet that works for everybody. For example, if you sign up with me and you're like 350 pounds, 50% body fat, no, 50% body fat, that's really high. Maybe like 40% body fat. I've worked with some people who are really, really heavy. And, more power to them to actually reaching out and contacting me and want to make a change. So, but if you're really, really heavy, I'll probably won't have you carb cycling because there's no purpose. I'll probably have you do like a ketogenic diet because you don't need the carbs anyways because you got the stored body fat to fuel you. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. But if you come to me with your about an average body fat, male or female, I do like carb cycling. I think it's a great diet, and I think it helps fuel your workouts on the harder workout days and on the less strenuous workout days or the off days from training. You have lower carbohydrates. So I do recommend carb cycling, but when you ask, not for everybody, okay? There's not like a set diet that works for everybody. For example, if you also come to me and you're skinny and small, you're just going to be eating a high carb diet every day. And your goal is to gain muscle, to get big. So everyone is different. So you got to be careful when, like I get DMs all the time say, hey, do you do keto plans? Yes, I do. but it depends on what I think is best for your body. Where a lot of these coaches will say, "Oh, keto only," or carb cycling transformation program and stuff. That's just like branding. I mean, that's all it is, which is it's cool. You know, I'm all business too, but so my plans can be any meal plan. But I do like carb cycling. I will say I probably do carb cycling for the majority of my clients too. Okay. Yeah. Was that all the questions? That I listed? Okay, I'm going to go get my phone. So I'm going to shut off the live stream. I want to answer those 2 questions through email because they emailed me.
All right, cool.
So I'm going to get up real quick. I want to answer because they emailed me. I got to get my phone because I had 2 questions on email that I wanted to answer. So I'm going to leave this podcast up, though. We're going to put it up on YouTube and apps. The podcast app probably in like 2 or 3 weeks. Thanks for watching. Those 2 questions I wanted to answer.
We just picked up where we left off.
Okay, so those 2 questions. Oh man, now that it just posted this. I got 2 more. Well, how much time we at?
7.
We have 7 more minutes? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll probably just answer the 2 they got in yesterday. Okay, Tyler Freed. Hey, brother, it might be a simple or dumb question, but I'm curious the reasoning behind always increasing your weights, which has always been my method, instead of starting out at your max and working down. I just noticed other people doing it this way, so it struck my curiosity. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. Tyler Freed, thanks for the question, and thank you for always interacting with me on live and you always comment on my stuff, so thank you. Excuse me. Well, you know, the main reasoning is to warm up the muscle, I would say. Wouldn't you say that too?
Yeah, this is starting.
So he's asking like on set 1, why would you not start with your max? Bro, you're going to tear a joint.
Yeah.
You're gonna get hurt if you start with your max. So I would say the main reason is to warm up the muscle, and then you don't want to overload your joints like all at once either. So the idea behind, you know, every workout is to pump as much blood in the muscle as possible, not just move the most amount of weight. So, you know, my answer right off the top of my head would just be to properly warm up, and you start you get the form down, then you get the more blood flow in, and then you start to increase the weight. So if it's like 4 sets, you know, set number 1 is the lightest, 2 you go a little heavier, 3 a little heavier, 4 the heaviest, and the number 1 reason I would say is to prevent injury. I mean, do you have anything to add to that? I know there's a.
I mean, when I used to lift like that, but it was more ego than anything else.
Well, you used to do your heaviest sets first? Really?
Yeah.
See, I've never done that. I've always been.
I used to do back, and I would do rows, and then I would just start off with like 120s, and then
like one on dumbbell row.
But I feel like I was a lot younger, and it was a lot just like an ego lift.
An ego lift.
It didn't really make sense.
No, it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
It doesn't make sense. So when you did the 120s, though, did you like the second set? Did you do 120s again?
Mental, like, all right, I'll just grab it and just go and just lift it. But like, it wasn't. Now looking back, it wasn't smart.
No, I mean, but after that first, so if you get the 120s the first set, like the second set, what would you do?
I would go down. I would go down.
Oh, you go down. I got you. No, so I'm a big believer in properly warming up the muscle. And remember, we don't train, I mean, unless you're a power lifter or training for strength. Like I always train for muscle hypertrophy. So it's not about how much weight you can lift. It's how you perform the movement. So, yeah, good question, though. All right, next question. This is going to be the last question for today. So Jeff and Jennifer Smith, I think, let me just read the question, then we'll see. How do you stay motivated to stick to a meal plan long term? When I started with you, I was really motivated and hardly cheated, but now I'm over 6 months in and I find I'm cheating more. Any advice? Man, this goes back to kind of like what I said earlier is you got to think about your why and like why you started this whole thing to begin with. But I will say taking some diet breaks is okay. You know, like a few weeks ago, I went to Vegas for like a big music festival, EDC. And, like, I was off my diet for probably, like, a week, you know, and I gained probably – when I say off my diet, I don't just mean I ate burgers, like, all day. I probably had, like, 1 or 2 junk meals a day. And I gained in that – and I was off my diet for probably, like, 10 days, and I only gained, like, 6 to 8 pounds of water. And I've been back on my diet for 2 weeks, and I'm back down to what I was before. So I don't – you know, before I give my little rant about motivation, I will say that a diet break every now and then is okay. But as far as motivation goes, you know, you got to think about why you started this in the first place. And then thinking like long term, like, dude, this is like the only life you get. So you want to give it your all in everything you do. And, the same thing goes for fitness. Like if you have your fitness down, you got your meals down, your workouts down, it's going to help in all aspects of your life. For me, like I said earlier, it helps build my confidence, which, is going to help you in everything. So the first thing I would say is it's okay to take a diet break if you're super, super burnt out. But the second thing I'd say is really ask yourself why you're doing this. And, Jeff and Jennifer Smith, you're a couple. Do you guys have kids? Like, do you guys go on trips together? Like, make it a kind of, what's the word? Make it a fun thing too, like meal prep together, you've been doing it together for a long time, but kind of add some, make it a fun thing to do instead of like, oh, I got to eat the same boring foods over and over. Or say like, hey, if we, stay on track for 2 weeks, we're going to go to the lake or something like that. Like give yourself some stuff. Give yourself something to look forward to. But at the end of the day, you got to be doing this for yourself, and you got to have a why too. And the why has to be bigger than just looking good. Like for me, it's building confidence, which is going to help in all aspects of my life. Do you got anything to say on motivation? You're a pretty motivational guy.
I'm a pretty motivated guy.
Or you're a pretty motivated guy for sure.
I would just definitely say to piggyback off you is just figuring out your why.
Yeah.
I want to get in the best shape. For me personally.
But when you're staying on, when you're in the lifestyle, and you got to make it a lifestyle too. They're 6 months in, and I find them cheating more. I've been there too, probably because you may be happy and complacent with your progress too. So maybe set a little, how do you say this? Maybe set a little bigger goals for yourself.
That, and then the people around you.
100%. Yeah, wow, that's, yeah. I didn't even think about that. You got to surround yourself with, the right people, or maybe switch up. A big thing that I'm a believer in is switching up your atmosphere. Like I got what do we go to? 3 different gyms? Mm-hmm. 3 different gyms just to be around different people, be around different equipment. And I know that's not diet related, but that is, fitness related. It's going to help kind of kickstart not kickstart, but give you, keep things exciting. So be around the right people, think about your why, and then remember like a little diet break is okay, a little recharge is okay.
So that's pretty much it.
What's our timing? That's about 30? Perfect. So that's Ask LBD episode 3. I'm Lucas Duncan. This is my co-host,
Ronald Wayne.
And the future, keep asking. I got more questions today on the little graphic I posted than I did last time. So thank you everyone for the questions. Email me, lbdtraining@lucasduncan.com. We'll put the email in the description box. Put Ask LBD in the subject line for a chance for your question to be featured on the podcast. For now, adieu.